Okay, so when we get to this section, you're gonna have to break it into smaller parts or more basic shapes like rectangles, triangles, squares. And so there's different ways to do that. We've talked about some students saw of trying to draw the line here, creating a rectangle and two other rectangles. That's possible. We want to make it less as much of as smallest amount of steps as possible. So if I do what I just did, that's three shapes I'm dealing with. If I do this, again, that's three shapes that I'm dealing with. But this is a convex shape, a irregular shape, because it's caving in, a concave, excuse me. And if I were to just draw my line here, I just basically have, it's broken down to now two shapes. I have the whole rectangle, which my whole rectangle is a 7x minus 4 by 5x plus 2. Okay, so I'm using the whole rectangle, and I'm going to abbreviate that, minus, and this is my small rectangle here, small rec, minus the small rectangle. And I'm going to move this down a little bit so we can see some relationships here that happen. That minus sign. So if I know that the whole side here is 5x plus 2, I know that correlates to the bottom here. And I know these two have tick marks so they're congruent. 2x minus 2x minus 3. So I could use the whole length and subtract to get to my missing part, which I'm trying to find. I'm trying to get to here, that length, because then I can use the dimensions of the small. So to do that, well, I'm taking the 5x plus 2 minus the sum of those tick mark size, basically, which becomes 4x minus 6. And the thing you have to be careful here is when you're subtracting, kind of think of distributing a negative 1. So we got 5x minus 4x. You could do that. That's going to give you x. But on this next term here, we got plus 2 minus a negative 6. When you subtract the negative, that ends up becoming positive. So this is plus 8. And it froze up on me. Sorry about that. Okay, so it froze, and we're back on. Kind of erased a little bit, but basically, let's do our whole rectangle. Because I went ahead and add our missing piece, that was the x plus 8. So the dimensions of the whole rectangle, it's a 7x minus 4 by, and our width, our length, excuse me, our 5x plus 2. And then our small rectangle, the one inside here that we're going to take out, that is an x plus 8 by 4x minus 1. So we're going to distribute box method, FOIL method, whatever you are comfortable with. You want to do that and simplify the expression. So hopefully when you do it, I'm going to just do FOIL. So just a recap, I can do the first times the first, that's a 35x squared. Then the outer, that's 14x. Then the inner, minus 20x. Oops, sorry. And then the last, minus 8. So we just simplify this, combine our like terms. 35x squared minus 6x minus 8. So that represents the area for our whole rectangle. And I think I subtracted that wrong. No, that's right. And then we are going to do the small rectangle, its area. And same thing, you do box method, FOIL method. Just pause the video, or I'm basically going to go into what our simplified expression is. If you need assistance with this, just come to tutorials. But basically, we would end up getting 4x squared plus 31x minus 8. And now we're going to subtract to get our final area of our composite figure. I can subtract those, 35x minus 4x squared, excuse me, 35x squared minus 4x squared is 31x squared. And then for my next term, I have a negative 6 minus 31. So that ends up really being a negative 37 or minus 37x. And then negative 8 minus a negative 8, they end up canceling each other out. So here is our simplified expression for the composite. Now, when you get to number 6, and I'm going to kind of get you started for the next two, help make sure you're on the right track. For this one, if you just draw that segment right here, we create a square, and all the sides are congruent. And I know that this length corresponds with the one above it. So if I take the 6x minus 12 divided by 4, that gives me the length of each side, or each tick mark. And that, not by 4, by 3, I'm sorry. Divided by 3, because there's 3 tick marks right here. There's 3 tick marks for that side. So that becomes 2x minus 4. So now I'm going to break it down into two rectangles. I have this rectangle here compared to the small square that I have up top. Now I know each side is 2x minus 4. So the rectangle plus your square will give you your composite. Your rectangle is a 2x plus 10 by 6x, sorry, by a 6x minus 12. So you're going to do for box, distribute, whatever, to simplify that expression for that rectangle's area. Then plus, we have a 2x minus 4 times 2x minus 4, or 2x minus 4 squared. Simplify that one, work it out, check the partial key. And then for number 7, because it's shaded, that means we're taking this rectangle piece out of the whole rectangle here. So if I take the whole rectangle minus the small rectangle, the blue rectangle for me, that would give me just the shaded. So my whole rectangle is a 6x by x plus 4. I did it that way because you can see it's easier to distribute here. And then my small rectangle is an x by 2x plus 1. Okay. And so we're just going to distribute and simplify, combine like terms. So that takes care of that section. And if you need help with the nets, I broke it down on the partial key by doing each part. I'll do a short explanation on the next video, and then when we get into dimensional change for the last part. Thanks.